Hello, friends. Welcome to another podcast session. In our session today, I would like to talk about depression. This is something that I've been answering and even assisting a lot of people who come to me, not for the treatment of depression on medicines, but for those with the mild symptoms. So I thought, let me, this has been actually on my mind to share something, make it simple so that it creates awareness and also it helps each one of you. It's actually quite complicated, but having the basic awareness may not just only help you, but even anyone you may come across who may be in need of help. So when you are aware of it, you perhaps can share your knowledge and may help somebody in need. So friends, these days we have actually moved past those days when people wouldn't talk about it. In fact, I hear every other day people reaching out to me, somebody writing to me or calling me, questioning, inquiring about this particular condition. And what I've found is a lot of people actually try to self-diagnose a lot, gathering data from the internet. So before even I share and explain you what depression is all about, I would also urge you not to do this. Because internet may have plethora of information, but the way a disorder, a disease is understood by an expert, which is a psychiatrist or a therapist, is very different from a common person. So refrain from it. Instead, cultivate a habit of seeking help through these experts. Okay, let's get started. Feeling sad or feeling low or not in a good mood is an emotion almost all of us experience at some point or time in our life. And it's absolutely normal to feel this way. So if at all you're feeling sad, do not consider that you're going through depression. Feeling sad is as normal as one may feel with a personal loss or any other failure we may encounter. But when the same feeling of sadness, of feeling very low, consistently stays with us for almost more than 2 weeks, is when you need to pay attention to it. Because our emotions, as per neuroscience, has a cycle. We experience emotions, be it positive or negative, for a fraction of 1.64 seconds. Sorry, 1 minute, 0.64 seconds. And after this, it intensifies and dissipates, which means even the feeling of sadness or feeling low is something that we may experience if it is within the permissible limits of the normal range. It means it's an outcome of a negative or a sad event that has occurred in our life. But it no ways qualifies or kind of we are diagnosed with depression. But the same feeling of sadness, of feeling low, if it consistently stays with us for more than 2 weeks, your mood stays the same, then take that as an alert sign, as a red flag, and try and seek help from a doctor, most preferably a psychiatrist. Also understand depression varies from person to person because our life is individually very different. Each one of us are on a unique journey. Each one of us have our own shares of highs and lows. and our ability to bounce back after any failure. But when you lose interest in doing any kind of work constantly for like more than 2 weeks, you just don't feel like doing anything. You're like more completely lost interest in life, in work, or in anything, feeling constantly low and sad. You need help. Now, where does depression comes from? Understand that there are combination of factors. It's actually a disorder. So not necessarily that we may feel depressed only after we've been through a major loss, which is actually one of the reasons. But sometimes our genetics also play an important role in if somebody is being diagnosed with depression. Besides the genetics that runs in our family or what the genes we have inherited from our ancestors, major life changes or being in a very difficult circumstances or hardships can also lead to depression. Sometimes even a diagnosis of a critical illness can lead to it. So these are some of the reasons. Besides this, some people also experience mild episodes of depression, which is mostly for women post-pregnancy. And even for people who are sensitive to seasons, they may feel depressed, usually during winters. And especially in the north part of the world where the winters are very intense. So this is called seasonal depression, and this is also quite common. Now, coming to having understood where depression coming from, also understand that the treatment of depression also varies basis on the way it has been diagnosed, most preferably by a psychiatrist. And then not everyone may be prescribed the same treatment method. For example, people with very severe clinical chronic depression may be given a combination of therapy plus medications. As a therapist myself, I would also like to add here that no psychologist or therapist can prescribe medicines because we do not hailing from the medical background. Only a psychiatrist, which holds their specialty in the medical field, are qualified to prescribe medications. So beware of anyone who just prescribe a medication without being qualified for it. So ensure that if somebody is getting treated for depression, they first visit a psychiatrist to diagnose it, that are they really going through depression or there's something else. A psychiatrist would also recommend a person, depending on the severity of the disease, whether they need medication or they need a combination of medication plus therapy. Therapist can help with talk therapy, with CBT, or many other therapies are available. But this is for those who may seek help and are not really in need of any medications. But when it comes to prescribing medicines or seeking help from medications, then the best option here is to always seek a psychiatrist. Now, for some people also, depression goes into a mode of persistent depression, meaning sometimes it can last a lifetime. And it's like the bouts of depression may come and go. So again, here, there are some advanced techniques also, which is one of it is where the brain is scanned and the blood flow towards the brain is being monitored to understand what best can be prescribed, both in form of a medication or any other technique that could help in supporting the person with a very severe persistent depression. But that's very advanced thing. And again, there you may need intervention of a psychiatrist plus, I guess, a neurologist, and also people into this into the field of brain health. Moving on, one of the best ways, now that we understood where depression comes in from and the various treatment, one of the best ways, as I always say, is prevention is better than cure. So it's not necessary everyone may be diagnosed with a depression or one may go through it, but having a healthy lifestyle can actually help you prevent from it, because it's like you're investing in your mental health. And one of the best ways to invest in your mental health is to keep our mind healthy. And to keep our mind healthy, there are again many factors which together goes into keeping our mind healthy. It begins with a healthy lifestyle, which comprises of a healthy diet, healthy living, sleeping on time, waking up on time, indulging in physical activity, exercise, or any kind of sports activity that could keep both your body and mind healthy. Practicing meditation and mindfulness has also been researched intensely on, and the research has found that mindfulness practice plus meditation has helped a great deal for people who've been suffering from depression for a long time. So, not really getting into a reactive mode by learning that only when diagnosed with it. Other than that, mindfulness is a life skill. So it's always a good idea if in case you could invest some time and learn that. And at the same time, practice yoga, meditation, or any other physical activity that suits you or your taste. Keeping your mind healthy, your body healthy may help you in long term preventing from getting into the mode of a depressive state of mind. Finally, I would like to close this by stating one of the most important things that I keep repeating, and I would like to repeat it here as well. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed to seek help. If you feel you need help, there are like multiple options available. Kindly do not self-diagnose or self-medicate by just reading articles or notes on internet. Instead, connect with a therapist or with a psychiatrist and get a first-hand assured diagnosis that what you are suffering from is actually depression. Something that might need sometimes just therapy or sometimes a combination of medication and therapy. That's all, my friends. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.